Hi, this is Mark Cunaberti from Investing in Community. I'm covering today the 737 MAX 8 Boeing Ethiopian airline crash that happened on March 10th because there's been some new information out today on the preliminary report. My roommate was killed in college by the PSA jetliner crash, so I have special interest in this particular subject. The preliminary findings out today, according to the data from the black boxes, ruled out human error, and that the pilots did all they could to pull the airliner out of the fateful nosedive that resulted in all 157 passengers and crew members being killed when it slammed into the ground shortly after takeoff. Flight 302 was a scheduled international passenger flight from Nairobi, and it took off at 8:38 local time, 149 passengers and 8 crew on board. 1 minute into the flight, the pilot reported a flight control problem, but decided to continue on. 3 minutes later into the flight, the aircraft accelerated beyond its safety limits, and the pilots requested permission to return to the airport. However, the aircraft then disappeared from the radar screens and crashed at 8:44, 6 minutes into the flight. Flight tracking data showed that the aircraft's altitude and rate of climb and descent were fluctuating. Now, this was similar to the Lyons Air Flight 610 that also experienced fluctuating altitude changes when it had crashed in the same airline, with similarities to both crashes as far as the autopilot control. The preliminary report out today said that all procedures recommended by Boeing were followed, including the updated recommendations after the Lion Air Crash. That's the interesting part, the similarities between what the plane did and that these pilots had been schooled on what to do just in case. Both aircrafts have demonstrated a multitude of erratic altitude changes prior to its final plunge into the ground. The suspected anti-stall system, which is to prevent the plane from climbing too steeply, which would cause an air stall, is called the MCAS system, and that would basically, if it senses the plane's climbing too steeply, it would put it in a nose-down position, so that kind of indicating what may have been going on here. You can possibly imagine the tug of war going on between the pilots and the MCAS system, man against machine, which ended up with a machine obviously won here. The plane was certified, the preliminary report says today, and the pilots were trained in the operation of the aircraft, including the Boeing updates. And finally, the Boeing 737 MAX 8 is Boeing's best aircraft, best-selling aircraft. There's 300 of them sitting around on tarmacs worldwide while they're grounded. How long they'll be grounded, we don't know. There are multiple investigations underway, including one from the U.S. Justice Department that's looking into the role of the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, on why they did not ground this plane after the Lyons Air Crash. How long the planes will be grounded, we don't know, and the effect on Boeing as a company, we don't know. So that's it for today's report. If you'd like to send me an email, you can do so at moneymatters@kvmr.org. Thanks for watching.